Miz was on SmackDown tonight. The Miz is now permanently on the SmackDown roster, as Nick Aldis would reveal, thanks to the transfer window. Obviously, The Miz immediately realising that the Wyatt Sicks are on SmackDown and revealing that he strategically had the Wyatt Sicks moved to Friday nights. Now, Nick Aldis would tell The Miz to go and find new friends. So is The Miz going to have some kind of group with him? That would make a lot of sense to go up against the Wyatt Sicks. The question then becomes who? I mean, DIY are heels, and The Miz has history with DIY, so is that a possibility? But let's be fair, right? We all thought it. We all know what's going to happen. Miz, you're going to die. This is what I mean. It's done. You might as well just give up now. Retire, go off into the sunset, take your tiny balls with you. You're done, Miz. What that segment does, though, for Wyatt Sicks fans is definitely settle a lot of nerves. A lot of people were concerned for the last few weeks about the random move to SmackDown. Obviously, this week we found out a lot of new information regarding Alexa Bliss. We did cover this on Wednesday, so we won't go in depth with it, but obviously Alexa looking for a new contract with WWE, and seemingly while those talks are ongoing or something's going on with that, WWE has decided to go this route, and we will never probably know how much of this is a pivot, and if it's a pivot, it's done very well. But let me know in the comments down below, who do you think that The Miz could recruit to stand with him against the Wyatt Sicks? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Two people we can rule out is A-Town Down Under, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, because Miz was trying to recruit them tonight, and Nick Aldis would show up to tell them to pack their bags. They're off to Raw. The Miz literally cannot catch a break. Everything The Miz is trying to do, he cannot get away from the Wyatt Sicks. And for those wondering if the Final Testament could move to SmackDown to help The Miz, it doesn't look likely, as Karrion Kross is seemingly taking the credit for The Miz moving to SmackDown. Kross double-crossed The Miz. This is things you might have missed from WWE SmackDown. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. A very aggressive, pretty deadly was in the first match of SmackDown tonight, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns. A lot of people on social media seemingly confused that WWE added padding to the ring, as we saw it prominently as Alex Shelley hit a baseball slide and obviously took out the padding. Now, honestly, this doesn't confuse me at all. There's big LED boards on the side of the ring. If a wrestler was to bump onto it, it's gonna hurt a lot. Adding a little bit of cushioning probably isn't a bad idea. The Motor City Machine Guns would pick up the win tonight. Not really a surprise there. Obviously, prior to the match, we saw Pretty Deadly talking to DIY in the backstage area once again. And DIY again manipulating Pretty Deadly. Man, this is going to blow up, isn't it? Are we going to get a Pretty Deadly face turn out of this? The next vignette would air tonight for the return of Charlotte Flair. WWE not being cryptic with this one at all. Charlotte is coming, and she's coming at the Royal Rumble. Honestly, I feel like this is the best way to do it, to advertise Charlotte for the Rumble. A lot of people would just be upset if Charlotte was to return at the Rumble. A lot of people, though, wondering, could Charlotte actually be the winner of the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble? On SmackDown, both women's champions, Tiffany and Rhea, were in the ring. That would bring out Nia Jax and Candice, as Nia would declare herself for the Royal Rumble, followed by both Bianca Belair and Naomi coming out, declaring for the Rumble, followed by Liv and Raquel, with Liv declaring for the Royal Rumble and also declaring her victory for the Royal Rumble. Well, that's easy. Save ourselves the time on the pay-per-view. Liv wins, we all go home happy, right? We got a really solid 6-woman tag match from this. Obviously, lots of big feuds at play here, but it would be Liv Morgan pinning Bianca Belair to get the win tonight. That's a big statement. This picture was posted to Instagram today, and it's interesting because the person is watching Royal Rumble. That person is Malakai Black. Now, I found this really interesting because Malakai usually, when there's rumours going around that aren't true, would instantly debunk them. Now he's playing into them. Is he coming? Is Malakai Black about to return to WWE. The team of Michin and B-Fab were in action tonight as they took on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Really short match, but it would be B-Fab and Michin picking up the win, with Michin pinning Chelsea Green. Later revealing that meant that she gets one more shot at the Women's United States Championship next week on SmackDown. Michin, has to win this now, doesn't she? It's her third attempt. Apollo Crews would get a huge victory tonight, defeating Johnny Gargano. It was the Motor City Machine Guns that would actually get involved by coming out, causing a distraction, allowing Apollo to roll up Johnny. Question. Obviously, from this angle, it's impossible to see. But does Apollo Crews have a handful of trunks of Johnny Gargano? Is that interesting? I don't know. Is that something? I mean, Apollo didn't exactly celebrate the victory. He literally just walked away. A very cool vignette as a Tale of the Tape would be aired for Braun versus Jacob tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event. And then on SmackDown tonight, we got a very cool walking to the ring backstage promo from Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Genuinely, these promos from Jacob, man, are absolutely perfect. And I'll tell you what, if you would have said about a couple of months ago, oh, Jacob's going to do a ring walk promo, I don't think people would have been excited. WWE has nailed this. Social media would instantly see someone in the background. A lot of people wondering, could it be Uncle Howdy? I really don't think it is. I mean, unless Uncle Howdy has really changed since the last time we've seen him, I don't believe that's Uncle Howdy. LA Knight would secure his victory tonight, defeating Tama Tonga. After the match, though, Jacob Fatu obliterated LA Knight on the new indestructible WWE commentary desk. Before we got the face-off, look at this. Not a single person sitting down. Everyone on their feet for Braun and Jacob face-to-face. Tonight, Braun Strowman would stand tall, but they will collide tomorrow night. Honestly, let's do a spot with the indestructible announce desk. That could be fun. Nick Aldis would reveal a new talent acquisition tonight for Friday Night SmackDown, and he was going to go against Carmelo Hayes, and he can't catch a break. It's Damian Priest. Damian Priest moving from Raw to SmackDown. Wow, that's a big move. Well, Damian and Hayes would have their match later on in the night, and honestly, this was a really solid match. A great introduction to Damian Priest to SmackDown, with Damian picking up the win. Shinsuke Nakamura has declared he will enter the Royal Rumble and will declare and take all victory as he looks to conquer 2025. We found out the tag titles will be on the line at the Royal Rumble between the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY in a 2 out of 3 falls match. That's pretty big. Worth noting in the background was Piper Niven talking to Blair Davenport. We haven't seen Blair for a while now, but obviously Chelsea Green is looking to increase security. So is Blair Davenport going to help Chelsea Green in her match next week? Some big names in the audience tonight. Mark Henry was amongst them, and so was Michelle McCool. Very cool indeed. Worth noting as well, Undertaker, Michelle's husband, posted on social media he was in attendance at SmackDown. How insane is it that Undertaker has an aura about him that we don't just put him in the audience? Undertaker's too big for that, isn't he? Tonight's show started off with Cody Rhodes talking to Joe Tessitore one-on-one in the ring. Later on, that would piss off Kevin Owens. Note, Kevin Owens wearing a Sami Zayn Forever shirt. Kevin definitely doesn't want anyone to be friends with Cody. It would be Jimmy that came out to make the save for Joe Tessitore, and this would set up tonight's main event. Before the match, as Jimmy was making his entrance, Carmelo Hayes would jump him as they hyped up the match for next week between Carmelo Hayes and Jimmy Uso. I just love the way Jimmy just got up, completely no-selling the attack, and just walked to the ring for his match with Kevin Owens. Brilliant. Not as brilliant, though, as this absolute savage moment from Kevin Owens walking to the ring in a Naomi t-shirt. For those that don't know, Naomi is Jimmy's wife. Oh my god, brutal by KO! Here's a question though, with the commentary team acknowledging that fact. Have they just, in kayfabe, put Naomi and Jimmy together, and therefore if we did a bloodline thing in the future, Naomi could be involved? Well, Kevin Owens would defeat Jimmy Uso while wearing his wife's t-shirt, and he wasn't over there at the end of the match looking for that package pile driver onto the commentary desk. But it would be Cody Rhodes coming out to make the save with a brawl ending the show. Tomorrow night, on Saturday night's main event, they will sign their contract for their ladder match at the Royal Rumble. Really fun show tonight, very solid. For me, 8.5 out of 10. I love how they did the Miz stuff. I thought that was genius. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you as always next time. Peace!